cigarettes. When a member of our band passes, it is our practice to leave an empty chair as we have this evening. We do this as a reminder that they will always be with us when we come together to play. The chair is usually adorned with a drape and a rose for the concert. Jack and Ellie Osborne, along with Jim Miller, wrote a hymn titled "Where the Roses Never Fade" in 1942. The first verse of this hymn says, "I am going to a city where the streets of gold are laid, where the tree of life is blooming and the roses never fade. Here they bloom but for a season, soon their beauty is decayed. I am going to a city where the roses never fade." Tonight that chair represents Gretchen Himmeger, and the rose on that chair will soon fade. But Gretchen's memory and the mark she left on this band and many others will not.
Aren't we incredibly lucky to have such talented musicians, and we get to hear them and enjoy some live music. So let's give them another round of applause. My name is Clare Sulgit, and as you can see from your program, I'm the pastor at St. Mary's United Methodist Church, where Gretchen was a member. It is a great honor to get to share a couple remarks with you this evening. All of us who counted Gretchen in their circle of love were saddened to hear the news of her death. While she'd been battling various illness for some time, each time I talked to her, she sounded like her normal, vivacious, vibrant self. So news of her death came as quite a shock. I imagine I'm not the only one who experienced it that way. Gretchen was so easy to appreciate because she truly was all in with whatever ministry or activity she was involved in, and there were many, many that she was involved in, and she loved them all. I knew her well from the Pleasance Area Lions Club, church, and church choir, but there were so many other arenas that she participated in: the community band, the ladies' auxiliary of the AMVETs, the singing Christmas tree, years of teaching, her military background, and many, many more. She gave to each her time, her energy, and her resources. She was matter of fact, independent, and generous. Someone told me recently that they were at the hairdresser, and they happened to share the same hairdresser that Gretchen had, and everybody in the salon was so sad that Gretchen had passed away. And that really was Gretchen in a nutshell. Someone who connected with virtually everyone, who was kind and gracious and welcoming. Now, it's hard to know exactly what to do when somebody we love dies. But death, illness, broken relationships, all of them are a part of living this life that we are in. And I, as a pastor, would certainly suggest that part of our response is to have faith. But a part of it is that we have faith that our grief in these times of pain and sadness, our grief is holy to God. We have faith that Jesus stood at the tomb of his friend Lazarus and cried tears that are just as salty as yours and mine are. And yes, I have faith that in any spiritual or eternal way, death has no sting to it whatsoever. But it stings in the moment, quite a bit, and for some time afterwards. I've heard it say that grief is the price we pay for having loved, and so I think that this love-soaked grief of ours is holy to God. Because the God that we in the Christian tradition worship is a crucified and risen God, which is to say we worship a God that's not unfamiliar with darkness and pain. A God who comes close to those who mourn. A God who is not far away, but is as close as the choppy breath that we breathe when we falter in our weeping. And while it may still be dark for you in these moments, the light is breaking through. And the darkness cannot, will not, shall not overcome it. Gretchen knew that. Gretchen lived that. So tonight we give thanks for Gretchen, her life, her legacy, and her love. After a moment of silence, the community concert band is going to play Be Thou My Vision. I just want to share with you the third verse, the words of the third verse, because it's a verse of victory. And here's what it says. Great God of heaven, my victory won. May I reach heaven's joys, O bright heaven's sun. Heart of my own heart, whatever befalls, still be my vision, O ruler of all. So I invite you to join with me in a moment of silence, and then the community band will be playing for us again.